question. So one thing that I wanted to say before we got off is at the beginning, Lenny had said that words are super important. So I want to make sure that I say, anybody who listening, tell y'all for sure that power of life and death is in the tongue. So like whatever you say, whatever you want, whatever it is that you want to do, speak that shit and like be about it 100%. Because like if you don't tell yourself it, if you can't tell yourself that you want to do it, like you got to start there, and then everything else can start.
Gang get to make it home, nah. All because they hit the road, Man, on everything I love, yeah, on my soul. I'ma fight to change the story that is told about this yellow tape. Playing instrumentals when I'm writing.
You getting a new Xbox?
I don't think so. Like, I don't even be having the urge to play the game because, like, I don't have that much time. And when I do have time, I'd rather do, like, some music shit or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have enough free time to be playing the game, to be honest. So it's like...
Yeah, I feel that.
Don't get it because you just...
The question I have,
time.
since you brought that up, Lonnie, is so like the transition from college to like, okay, like, cause all three of y'all got a job now. Like y'all adulted in the real world. Are like, how has that transition been? You know what I'm saying, with time management and stuff like that.
For me, it's been, I wouldn't say it's like super tough. I think the transition for me, like, I wouldn't say like time management has been a hard transition. It's just like, I kind of, football was like a tough transition or not being able to play, but that kind of like, we've been in quarantine so long, the summer allowed that to like kind of get out of my system personally. So it's like here, it's just like the corporate shit is just different than anything I ever did. And it's like not something like I never was like, oh, if football don't work, I'm gonna just work I'm gonna work somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not my mindset. So it's like,
yeah,
for me, it's a lot like school to me, like figuring out like, oh, I figured out the system. This is the way that people want to do stuff. Like I know how I can excel here, but it's just like now it's like, do you want to? It's like I feel like compared to college where it was like, okay, I know I got this time building up to like the NFL or building up to this. It's like now I think about every day like, okay, damn, am I building toward what I'm doing? I'm getting closer to 23. Before you know it, I'll be 25. Before you know it, I'll be 30. Like I'll be thinking about
it
that.
Go fast, boy.
Hella.
It go fast. Hella fast.
So like, okay, so where are you working at now? Like I know, but like for
yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm working at McKinsey and Company. That's the full name, but consulting
company. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Me, I do general business consulting. So like, I pretty much go into, or we have different clients that you go on different engagements and you just pretty much help them drive impact in some way. So it can be something that's helping companies merge. It can be something that's like they're trying to transform, do a digital transformation, or you know what I'm saying? They can really help them solve any problem or to make other companies better. So I feel like the nature of the work is super like impactful for sure. So that's a good part for sure.
Is there like a set of companies that you guys are helping? Like you're only helping like financial companies, or is it just any company?
So McKinsey is, I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure McKinsey's the biggest consulting company, but I know if not the biggest, it's in like the big three or big four, whatever, of like management consulting. But it helps a broad range of everybody, every industry. You have industry experts in every industry, and we touch pretty much all of them. So yeah.
Okay. That. What about you, Mo?
The biggest shift from college to
you're in Texas, right?
I'm in Texas. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I work in this
company yet. Still ain't been to Southern. Still ain't been to Southern Eats.
I still ain't been to Southern Eats. I ain't been going nowhere anyway. So
quarantine.
Exactly. But actually, I'm gonna try to go soon. That's the next spot I'm trying to go to.
How was it was snowing down there for real, huh?
It snowed. It was like Ithaca, really, except there was no roadway cleanup, nothing like that. So everybody was, I tell you, when I was hearing sirens like all the time, it was all the time, bro. All the time. It was crazy.
People
having accidents and shit.
They was posting videos of people in Texas, like roofs was caving in and all time, like flooding, all time. I was like, dang, they really don't know what to do with snow.
That shit not built for that. That's
not at all. Not at all. No money to like disaster preparedness, at least for inclement weather like like snowstorms. Like they don't put money towards that. So
you would think with climate change though, but that's another reason like people should say climate change and not just always global warming, because like
Yeah,
climates are changing. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that
yeah.
everywhere's getting hotter than a motherfucker.
but they don't believe in it. That's the crazy thing.
That's
Like,
just nonsense.
Well, and see in Dallas though, like we have this plan called the Climate Equity Action Plan. And what that is basically like it's acknowledging, all the effects of climate change and all the impacts it has on like communities and cities resiliency and all this kind of stuff. This is what I do. So I'm a city planner, and I know y'all know this. Faze, am I speaking to like the podcast or like am I just
podcast, baby? So let them know.
speaking to the podcast?
Yeah,
so I'm a city planner, and so I essentially work on development, city development, policy, planning, and programming. Basically, I'm responsible for like designing the city. I don't know. It like however a city runs, however a city goes up, and the things that it's supposed to focus on. I'm responsible for designing that type of thing. So, anyway, my company worked on this. We call it CCAP, on this Climate Equity Action Plan, and it like acknowledges those types of things. And so we are working on it. It's just money is in different places right now. That's the thing.
Like what's the I know a lot of companies are doing different initiatives right now. What's the like timeline for that? Because like, or are there any benchmarks that's like to measure it, or is it just like,
Yeah,
we agree that shit for real, or like,
yeah. So it's a plan. So like we have short-term, medium-term, and long-term recommendations, and we just submitted it recently, so probably last year. So there's still a lot of things to come.
So it's a proposal. It's not like a thing in Dallas. It's a proposal.
No, it's an adopted plan. It's an adopted plan, but it like now the city has to implement the plan. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And so like, so part of the plan like does like have funding recommendations and this, that, and the other, but it's on the city to realize it.
So is that what you've been working on specifically?
No, actually, that's an older plan. I'm getting ready to work on this transit-oriented development project though in Dallas.
What is that?
What is that? So, so a lot of what bigger cities are trying to do is they're trying to develop around their transit infrastructure, because having public transit is what's going to really help reduce vehicle miles traveled and, help reduce carbon emissions and all this kind of stuff. And also, having a robust transit infrastructure is kind of what helps bring access helps expand access for different communities. So now if you have transit infrastructure that, expands into vulnerable communities, communities of color, people who are low income, et cetera, if you expand transit stations there and like build light rail out there, then, they can get into central city services and, they can be more connected to like quality education, better markets, et cetera, et cetera. And so what transit-oriented development is essentially developing the community around those stations. And so, especially where stations are in those vulnerable areas, us as planners are responsible for designing the area to incorporate things that, provide better medical access, childcare, or, better access to education. And, we're also responsible for designing like the street infrastructure so that, people can get access to the transit station and a whole bunch of stuff. And
it's actually really important, because I think
it's very important.
Because I didn't like when you say like, okay, I'm a city planner, I'm thinking like, okay, you put the buildings, like you figure out how the buildings go, but there's so much into like what you're doing and why everything is being put where it is. So that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah. So the best way to explain it is like I designed the frame that people design in. So like I kind of tell them how they can build it, and then they will build it based on the rules that I set. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
You set the rules for the box, and then motherfuckers get to put their Legos wherever they want.
Based
off the rules you set, though. Yeah,
exactly.
So how is that then? So all that you're doing, based on like what you were doing back at Cornell University, how has that transition been for you? So now you're doing all the stuff you just said. Like,
yeah.
what was the transition like from what you did at Cornell, playing football?
Well, thankfully, having that kind of like schedule with football and then school, and like I studied city planning, so I was already doing project-based work for my coursework, but it's still tough, it's tough because, now you're expected to give that high quality output, but with strings attached. And so, me working on project-based work, I'm always like doing like 100%, and like you got to figure out your boundaries and how you spend your time during the day. And, you really got to focus on how you keep yourself healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, and all that. And it's a whole different beast because now everything has, I said strings attached, but I think there's a better way of saying it. Yeah.
So what's the hours on that? Like, what hours are you working? I know we talked about that earlier. Like, what's the hours?
Yeah. So, well, with project-based work, sometimes you're busier, sometimes you're not. And, your hours are basically get the task done, however long it takes you to do it. So sometimes you could be working from, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. plus, or sometimes you might not be working. You may be working like a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 3. Just depends on how the week works and what kind of projects you got on your table. For me, yeah. But it's something I'm doing something that I love, so it's worth it. And it's like but that also makes it even more challenging to make time for myself to keep my mental healthy and all that kind of stuff.
That's fine.
You like the poster boy for when they be asking that shit, because I would have told the truth. But I fuck with you though. He said, it really depends. He could be 9 to 5 one day, 9 to 3. Like,
it'd be hella hours. It'd be hella hours. Lonnie knows, consulting, all that. Yeah, it's crazy.
What about you, Leek? What's going
on?
Tell people what you do first. Like, what do you do?
Well, they do the code shit. I'm in sales at P&G.
Yeah, stop playing. You have a dope ass job at P&G.
Which is it's a dope ass. I mean, a really dope company.
Hold up, I'm the only one cussing.
Yeah, bro. But you get to do that because you know. So, no, but can we cuss?
Yeah.
They dope as fuck for real. I fuck with like obviously I say that with a lot of cynicism. So like a lot of like, yeah, but is this for X, Y, and Z? But I say that while also realizing that what they be doing is cool. So I can say I'm proud to work for them. But like with that, answering your question, like how has the transition been? Like I feel like Lenny hit it right on the head when he said like, I feel like that has just taken up my school space. And it almost fit perfectly. So at P&G is pretty like consistent. I work, like I say I probably started like look at my laptop around 6:37, but like I usually get off before 5. So like it's pretty set, and it was just like how school was. Like I may go to 8 a.m. and then like the latest class I have is at like maybe 3. But then outside of that, I feel like the football space is has been the funnest transition. I'll say like that shit has been hard for like Mo was saying, like mentally, like I'm talking about nights where it's like crying. Like it's been hella introspective, but I feel like it's like right now I haven't found a different drive like football was. So like that has become my mental health type shit. So like focusing on myself, listening to myself, or like trying to understand myself. Like yeah, getting like hella deep into that. So like that's been like hella fun, like fun as hell.
So
the hardest shit.
Okay, so
what y'all been doing for that? Or like like what, like you said, instead of it like transition to another activity, you
hmm
feel like it's transitioned to like the other job being working on yourself? What is mediums have you used to do that? Have you just been like talking to yourself in the mirror, or like what you been
I, f-
doing?
I feel like if I had to honestly analyze it, it probably started with like more of a deeper music search, right? Like it
Mhm.
started with music because I feel like before that was the only medium I really entertained, like listening to music in every emotion. Like it's sometimes sad, I listen to some music, you trying to get hype music, like before a game, music, whatever. So like it was like music, then it started to like YouTube videos. So I started watching like conversations with like Nikki Giovanni, James Baldwin type shit, or like Maya Angelou, just like listening to people speak, like listening to like, oh, like you were once thinking about some of the things I probably was thinking about, or like you face things that I faced, and into reading, and then like when you start reading, obviously you be like, man, like I want to start putting my thoughts out on paper. So getting into like writing, journaling, it's just like really not looking at it as like taboo to have like a working relationship with yourself. So like doing a lot of things intentionally. Like I wake up with like attention to like do certain things, like realizing that like yeah, I'm myself and like I have to put effort into being myself. But yeah, then it started to like talking to mirrors and shit. It'd be a whole lot of different shit, but I just be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, that's facts.
What you been
That's
on, Fave?
actually
Man, me,
Yeah, go ahead.
man, I'm not working. I'm not making money yet. Like y'all, I'm still
But you the
broke.
only one with
I'm
us in
still broke.
graduate school.
I'm still
hey.
broke. I get a little stipend check every month though. Now, I get about $1,000 a month. You know what I'm saying, something like that. So I got that. But I'm up at Indiana State right now. Transferred to Indiana State.
Nigga, you rich. That was at Cornell, nigga. You was rich, nigga.
You're
What?
right. I swear, $1,000 a month.
Nigga, we go to
In
Texas
my
Roadhouse every
apartment,
Who
month.
was
Right.
out here taking out loans?
telling you, in my apartment only 500. So it's not Gun Hill where I'm paying 700 some dollars, you know what I mean? So I get to say that. They feed me, you know what I'm saying? They giving us steaks, chicken, like every day. So I'm living, but I'm up here in Indiana State. You know what I'm saying? We're a couple weeks out from spring ball, so I'm gonna get ready for spring ball. But I just been
Damn,
grinding.
crazy spring ball.
And what you majoring in? Because that's the
So
thing that's like crazy.
I'm getting my master's in sports management.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
That's
finish
Yeah, okay.
finish it.
That's dangerous.
for
Yeah.
everybody who don't know, hold on. It's this like a hell of a journey for Phase. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you told me 4 years ago, out of all us, Phase would be the nigga in graduate school fit to get his master, like, you know
What?
what I'm saying?
First,
I
Man.
wouldn't doubt it
first,
because I believe in the
Okay.
that's
nigga,
crazy.
but I would have been like, I don't know. So it's
Right.
like, just I'm proud of you for that. Like, you came a
Hella
hell of
proud,
a
bro.
Facts.
like,
Ooh, that's crazy.
This
And it's
shit
dangerous.
Who you were on your visit, bro, compared to like looking at you now, bro. Come on, man, that's crazy. That's
that,
It's
crazy.
beautiful growth the whole
it was a
time. That shit's
crazy
crazy.
journey. And for the people that don't know, man, I don't even know what year that was. That was like 2017. 2017, right? It's 2021 now. It's 2017. Y'all already freshmen at Cornell. I'm coming in. I'm trying to figure out what school I want to go to, and then just so happen get put.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? These are my hosts. Mo is my real host, but then I came to their room. They gonna play. I'm walking down the hallway to their room. I hear Chance the Rapper playing. I'm like, this might be my school. Like, okay, this might be the school.
Hey, we were the coldest host though. We were
Hey,
the coldest
nah, that
host.
shit was
Anybody
tough.
that wanted,
before he even tell anything that happened, it was a Tuesday when he came. So it don't seem like it was he came on a regular week. He came on a Tuesday. Like
Yeah, because I had a basketball game that weekend, so I couldn't come. So I came by myself. I was in the Statler and everything. Nah, I remember that though.
That
Walking
shit's
they
in,
got
crazy.
you a
Chance
cake.
the
They
Rapper,
got
I'm
him a
like,
cake. That's
yeah,
crazy.
cake, a full cake, all that. I was living. Then I
But
had
like,
what's his name, Aaron with me too.
oh yeah. I
But
wanted to say though,
it was cool though, like, but that's where it all started, and that's crazy how fast that went by. Cause and it's just crazy because they all tell you like, yeah, college is gonna go by fast, you know what I'm saying? But that then it just went by. Like it's like crazy.
man, shit's over. Review.
But I was blessed with the opportunity, you know what I mean? I look at COVID, of course, like I'm saying, all the bad things that happened in COVID, but through it all, I can't look down on it. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because my journey is my journey, and I end up having an opportunity to go to graduate school, you know what I mean? Leaving Cornell, you know what I mean? it was a lot of drama with that. Just trying to
Graduating from Cornell.
Say it again.
Graduating from Cornell.
Graduating from Cornell, yeah.
That's
People know that, bro. And I be telling them that when I be up here, I'd be like, yeah, I just transferred to Cornell. They're like, you left Cornell? I was like, no, I graduated from Cornell. They're like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, yeah, I graduated. I be forgetting to say that.
Yeah. Wear that, bro. Wear that for sure.
But what I wanted to say is about to be off topic, so I want to go ahead and insert it. But because we were saying that how much like you've grown, but like and like in all three of y'all, but like the same nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like from the moment we first met, like still same nigga, just but like all the growth within that has been crazy. Like shit ain't changed for real.
Yeah, no, I don't even think that changed the subject. I think that's like, and it's a thing that like me and Shy kind of talk about hella, where it's like being able to grow within yourself in a sense, like, and not within yourself being like inside, but like within the essence of who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? The backbone of who you are is your morals and different and your values and stuff make that up. And like not changing those, but still giving yourself room to like grow and become a better person and all the
100%.
other. And I like hella important.
I feel like that's tough. Like a lot of people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you think of growth and you think of like, you know what I'm saying, going through obstacles and coming, they're always like different person coming out of that. Like I know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they've been through stuff, they went through college the same for years, and it's like, man, I don't even recognize you no more. You know what I mean? Like you just like you acting completely different. Like you doing this, you know what I mean?
So I think that's most people, to be honest. And one thing that I think now, personally, I know in college, I looked at it different. I used to look at niggas like I couldn't understand the full switch up when you got to college. Like I couldn't understand trying to become a new person, like because of like how my mind worked. But like now I can give them more grace and understand that, okay, boom, some people have to completely change, completely like search for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not grounded in who you are from the jump. So it's like for me, I just realized at that point in time, I wasn't better than anybody or anything, but I just happened to be grounded in a few things that like I knew about myself. This is me. No matter what, I change, like, you know what I'm saying? I add a few words from the vocabulary because I'm in New York, you know what I'm saying? Or I do this, no matter what, I'll be the same nigga. I go back home, niggas not gonna be like, who's, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah.
And I think I see a lot of that comes from like, I'm thinking about, I'm not gonna say no names or nothing, but I'm thinking about like the examples in my head, and it's like something had to be going on with them, or like maybe I'm not gonna say they was bullied or whatever it was, like they didn't like themselves, you know what I mean? So then you get to college and it's like,
or they didn't
get the whole conversation we had about like acting white and acting black, you know what I mean? Like it's not you're acting white, you're acting black, you're just acting like yourself, but people see it like, okay, I'm gonna act black, you know what I mean? I'm gonna start cursing, I'm gonna start doing this, I'm gonna start listening to this music, I'm gonna hang around these people, but I'm like, and then it's so obvious, you could see it. I'm like you just trying too hard. It's like you don't gotta do all that. Just be you. You know what I mean?
Oh, people gotta learn to love themselves, man. That's probably one of the hardest things, and knowing how to do it right. And like even us now, like are still learning. But I mean, it's just that whole journey is, you know, is a whole discovery of yourself, what's important to you, and you know how you navigate the world. And you know, it really dictates a lot of the way you hold yourself, and just I don't know, like it's a really important thing. And you know, kind of really gets into the conversation about, you know, how you perceive yourself, especially around others. And, you know, that's important to know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like something that like, or what I'm hearing is like how important structure was. And it's probably why like this transition has also been easier because of like the structure that we've always had. Because I feel like Lenny hit it first with the grounding, being grounded, but also like we had the structure of like, all right, so boom, I'm not going here to like fake it or whatever. Or like when we were free for the first time, we had the structure of like, oh yeah, I know I can do this or that, but I'm gonna just keep doing this. Like I know I could like skip class, but hey, I'm gonna just do this. Like that had to come with like a lot of structure. So and I say that because like I think about like back home how a lot of people don't have that structure. And then but when they do it, they fell out quick. They go back and like they didn't have a safety to fully grow and be themselves. And that's why I did admire about Cornell. They created a lot of bubbles for people. Like people could do whatever the hell they wanted to do. be as explorative, as like dramatic as whatever, and it
Yeah.
allowed them to fully grow and like become their full selves. And like I just hate that like everybody don't get the same access to that. But then that goes into a lot of that
That goes hella.
city, hella different shit. But yeah.
Not nice facts though. Okay. So before we jump off of this topic, like to bring that all in, okay, somebody, you know what I'm saying, you're looking at yourselves, 2017, we'll go back to, for y'all, it's 2016. You know what I'm saying? Y'all looking at yourselves, y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all successful, you know what I'm saying, y'all have jobs, y'all graduated from Ivy League school, you know what I mean? What advice would you give to yourself, or what regrets did you have? Like, what would have done differently? You know what I'm saying? Or you like, for the people watching this, maybe it's somebody getting ready to go to college, or they're in college trying to find themselves. Like, what advice would you give to them?
Mhm. One thing for me, I would say I try not to have regrets just because I understand that like everything's a part of the process. But um one thing, I guess I'm gonna give one thing that I was happy that I continued to do, and then one thing I wish I would have done. And one thing I'm happy that I came to college and just was myself. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think about anything because I thought of college kind of as like a business trip. Like, okay, I'm going here, I'm playing football, but I'm really trying to get to the league. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like it kept me grounded and focused in a sense to where it was like I know I can be myself because like I'm not trying to do whatever else I would need to be different to do. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I know I'm good at this, I could just be myself. The one thing I wish I would have done more is like be a little more open-minded though. So it's like kind of the same thing, but like because I came so narrow-minded in terms of like, okay, I'm trying to play football and that's what I'm doing. It cut me off from a lot of things, other things I was good at, or a lot of other things that like I could have had an impact on because I was so focused on this. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have done more than just football, but it was like in my mind, it's like if I'm really trying to do this, this is all I can do. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, that in school. So
Yeah.
it's like I just wish I was more open to um being involved and just open in general. That's my thing. So
And I think that's big, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, Mo and League, y'all could go, but just based off of what you said, I feel like that's a lot of people's problem. I'm not even say problem, like that's like even myself, that's like I'm a football player. You know what I mean? I'm going here to play football. Like even now, like I'm learning that now. Like I'm here at ISU, like Indiana State, and it's like I'm talking to these. I'm going to these black expos, these black panels. I'm meeting with these different acting people, with people that act on campus, and it's like I'm doing all these different things, and I'm grinding in football too. So it's like it's so much than just being a football player, and that doesn't have to be your whole identity. You know what I mean? Now y'all can go ahead
exactly.
now. I just wanted to say that.
Just one more thing off of that. Just like I think that touches on it the most of just being like I'm more like I always understood that I was more than a football player, but
Mm-hmm.
like seeing my impact, I didn't see my impact. Like me, Leak, and Moa go to something, and people would be like, oh, like we need y'all here at things like this. And it's like we're here, but like you know what I'm saying? We gonna make it when we don't have practice. That's really what it was. Like we ain't got practice and we ain't doing nothing for football. You know what I'm saying? We gonna try to come. But it was like seeing that like we did have like we could have had a hell of an impact just being, you know what I'm saying, in the position we were and stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I didn't see going in. I was like, yeah, I could affect them, but like at the end of the day, like they should affect they didn't inspire your own yourself type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like in reality, that's not how life should work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I feel like for me, it damn near builds right off of that. It's just this thing of like being more tapped in with myself and like being more comfortable with like understanding what I was afraid of, like what I was really good at, what I needed to be working on. I feel like outside of football, like I wasn't really tapped into that because probably maybe because I was so focused at football, but like I was just doing it however I knew I could do it to be good. And like I probably was just told like Lennon said, I don't really have any regrets because I'm hella proud of like that nigga that passed me and like how he handled himself to get me to where I'm at now. Like I appreciate him for that. But
Mm-hmm.
like also just let him know that shit's gonna be all right. And I feel like that's like a trauma that like I'm still dealing with. Just like understanding that like I'm always worried that like some shit's about to pop off. Like something gotta happen. But just like realize that, bro, shit gonna be all right. Just like calm down, lock in, just be whatever. And it is okay for you to do that. It's okay for you to like grind and like totally be yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like outside of that, no regrets at all.
That's facts. I like that. No regrets. You know what I'm saying? We just keep moving forward. We learning from what we do. You know what I mean? No regrets. I
Yeah,
like
facts. Um, I I'm in the same boat. I don't feel like I have any regrets either. If I could go back, or if I could tell myself something, it just probably just to really sit down and try to figure out how to be consistent, and how to can be consistent working towards big goals, and you know, and know how to surround yourself with the right people to keep you on that track.
that.
Because it's like, I've always kind of like gone after my goals by myself, and growing up, that's got me to like some really great places. But like just thinking about, man, if I knew what I knew now, like, I'm always like, oh, look, I could have been at a even further place. And obviously it's kind of like I don't know if this is the right terminology, like a sunk cost. But like, but yeah, I just think that surrounding yourself with the right people, like fortunate to have Malik and Jelani uh, as roommates freshman year, because it's like, I don't know if I would have been able to pursue the game with the same passion that I would have all 4 years. Like to be able to really like put everything that I could into pursuing the NFL. Like that wouldn't have been possible without having that like right support network, because it's like, they've also been responsible, whether directly or indirectly, to keeping me consistent. And so, I think the biggest battle that people have just in pursuing anything is being able to be consistent and, getting incrementally better. And, is being able to spend time every day, or, just being able to set small goals to reach big goals, and really embracing challenge to, letting it like mold you to being prepared to take that next step. So that was kind of a lot of things at one, but
No, that was good. I think for mine is the same exact. Like I have one big thing, and my thing is exactly what you said. It's what's the saying though? Help me think of the saying. It's like it's like you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with dogs, then you're
You're
a
the
dog.
average of
What
the
is it?
people. Like you're the average. You're the average of the people you surround yourself around.
Yeah, but
Like that.
it's something with animals though.
If
I
if
know.
if
Or the
if you
strength of
lay
the force in the
down,
pack and the
you lay
strength of
down with
the
dogs and get up with fleas.
Yeah, something like that. I don't
And I
think.
think that's like an STD
I
thing.
don't think.
Cause
I don't know.
No, no. I think
That's
it's.
a bad one.
I think it's
Yeah,
I
bull.
know it's when they go the strength of the wolf is the strength of the wolf is the pack and the strength of the pack is the wolf. I
based
know
off
that.
her thing.
We off it right now. That's not it.
That's not it.
What I'm trying to what I'm trying to say is basically if you lay with the, if you I'm not I keep trying to say this man I'm not basically what I'm trying to say, and the people you surround yourself with is it's very important. So that would be my advice to myself. And growing up, I feel like in high school I was very good about that. You know what I'm saying? I surrounded myself with great people, and I didn't even surround myself with great people. I think I separated myself. You know what I'm saying, from bad people, or I separated myself from things that I didn't feel like were right. And in college, it took me a minute. Like y'all know, y'all was there. Like I just had to. I'm a big believer in if you want to do something, you got to have your life right. You know what I mean? You can't just be good in this way in football and then you're not focusing in classes. You can't be doing this and then you cheating on your girl or like whatever the case may be, because that all, you know what I'm saying, it all comes together. So I feel like surrounding
Yeah,
myself, you guys, and I don't think people understand, you know what I'm saying? Like you guys are not in the NFL right now, but these are some of like this is I'm talking to the podcast right now. If there was a camera, I'd be looking at them, but these is three of the best football players I've ever seen in my life and the best leaders I've ever seen in my life. Even when you guys left, you know what I'm saying? You guys' name was brought up in our locker room every week. Every week they'd be like, okay, everybody's trying to learn how to lead. How do I lead like Lee? How do I lead like Lonnie? How do I lead like Mo? You know what I'm saying? Trying to take things. So I'm like, your impact on Cornell, you know what I'm saying? Cornell Hall of Fame easily. That's how I'm thinking it, how you played and how you led. But being a grade below you guys and getting it to see that, but not even just getting to see it, but being part of that group, you know, BB4L, like being a part of that group, you know what I'm saying? that helped me so much, you know what I'm saying? And that was a big part of my growth because I'm like, oh, okay, this is how Lonnie move. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is how Mo move. Okay, Leak do this. Okay, but I'm not saying it, but it's just like I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just kicking it with y'all, but it's like y'all kind of rubbed off on me. So I feel like that's my biggest advice. Surround yourself, whatever your goals are, write your goals down and surround yourself with people with similar goals. You know what I mean? Because if you hang around with people that are doing, you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna happen. I think that's the biggest advice I have.
Yeah. And to go
Damn, I
off
appreciate that too, Face. My bad.
right here, yeah.
So
Appreciate
what?
that.
I
They
just said I
appreciate
appreciate that.
I don't know.
it.
It's fun, brother. You know, it's all love.
But
Uh,
to go off of that phase, I think it's hella important to like what you said at the end because like words are super important. One thing that I learned way more after football, really, like I always understood the importance of words, but like really after football, like the idea of being around people, like-minded people in the sense of like people who have the same goal as you, like
Mm-hmm.
the NFL, we can just say it like Cornell was a taboo subject. People don't even, I used to ask people, like just in general, like, hey, you trying to go to the league after this? Or like, what you trying to do with football? And they used to look at me like the police listening and shit. Like, you know, whereas like, that's like an uncomfortable thing. So it's like by being around y'all, and I realize now, especially with quarantine one, and then me just like living, it's just me and Shy out here in Seattle. So it's like, I've realized how much harder it is when it's just you, in a sense, because it's like when it was all of us, like you automatically like you like Mo said, you keep each other consistent. Like if I'm like, damn, we gotta work out, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not gonna say that out loud because I'm just not gonna complain to nigga, but like I know when I see these niggas up, like okay, we finna be out, like
That's
we out. You know
that's
what I'm saying?
wait, that summer, the summer,
Oh,
the
yeah,
summer we
yeah,
played there.
yeah.
What?
That was crazy.
Every
that's
morning,
good.
like 6, 5:30. What?
Grinding,
Every morning.
grinding,
And then go to
grinding.
work. And then
And
go
then
to
go to
work.
work, right? And then get off work and get back to the field. Like
I'm
it's
like,
just
That's
all
crazy.
that is just like made me realize that like by yourself, or it's important to find like, and this is for you phase, but you still playing, so it's a little different. Like you probably around people who trying to go to the league still. For like me, Mo, and League, I feel like it's important to try to find that outside of football though, and that's been a struggle for me. Like for me, a lot of the stuff like with music, for example, it's just been me. Really, it's like you know what I'm saying. I'm only talking like I'm talking to myself about it. I'm doing everything myself because part of that is quarantine. Like I can't really connect with nobody else, but part of it is also just like you know what I'm saying? A whole lot of stuff when it comes to trust issues and other stuff with people. But like I gotta really rock with you for me to be around you, hella. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
that's just a something.
That's the thing. It's funny because I just wrote an article about this. It was about like basically mentorship and what's helped me like see growth in myself in the professional world. And it's just like that, of course everybody knows like you need mentorship, but it's just like having that person to hold you accountable and like know you from a personal perspective and know you like what's going to make you tick, what's going to make you take yourself to the next level. And even like finding somebody who you look at them and like, man, that's the type of mentality I want to attack my life with, you know, being able to have those kind of people and surround yourself in whatever, you know, goals that you have in whatever, you know, sector that you're in or industry. Like it's important to have those type of mentors and peers, people who are like pushing you to go forward.
And do you feel like you had that Mo right now?
I do. I'm like fortunate enough to work like on the team that I work with. There are a bunch of urban designers and planners, and like these are some of the best like urban planners in the country. Like my boss, like Steve, his name's Steven Duong, and he's the principal planner and like VP for urbanism and planning for our region type thing. So like I'm just having regular conversations with them all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm like talking to leaders in my industry and like, you know, people who are pushing the barrel. Or is that the right
I get it.
Pushing the center. I know you're
I
talking
get
about
it, yeah.
pushing the
but
center.
you know what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
but
The
like
needle.
people who are leading innovation
The
in my
needle.
industry. I'm working with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's cool to be around people and be able to connect them on a personal level to like show you the way to reach your own full potential.
And going off that, that's big. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I feel like Cornell you know what I'm saying, being at Ivy League University, what I took from there is the power of like connecting, the power of networking, and the power of like, and I'm thinking like, okay, I can connect and network with people. Like this is a business thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need that. But like that's life. Networking, connecting, relationship, that's life. Like this past summer, I was able to work with all these NFL dudes. I was able to work with Chris Carter. You know what I'm saying? And Lonnie, you know Devin Funches?
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And that's bro. I was kicking at his crib. You know what I'm saying? That's
That's
where he looks after me. He calls me all the time, just make sure I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? Just people like that. You know what I mean? In the profession, like the best in what they do, you know what I'm saying? Just hanging around them, you know what I'm saying? Going into their house, them talking to me, having regular conversations like Mo was saying, that's like, dang, okay. That motivates me, you know what I'm saying? And that pushes you like to excel your game. And it just kind of like, it just, you don't even have to be training or nothing, but just that level of conversation, like, this is how you do this is how you assess this way, you know what I'm saying? That just raises your, you know what I'm saying, your quality of life, to me at least. So
Yeah.
I wish people talked about networking more so in a way about like, because I think it's the way it gets used is like superficial. You know what I'm saying? Like people say networking. Oh yeah, let's make a connection. You can very transactional. Like it should be very like relationship building, and you know you're building your own community rather than building your network. And like I think that's a critical part in the what has helped me grow through my network.
I think that has a lot to do with the people like above, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to network with somebody above you, you know what I'm saying? Like you're talking to like the VP of urban planning or something like that, or I want to talk to somebody in the NFL or the head of consulting or like whatever the case may be. I feel like I've met a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, wherever I'm at, and it's been transactional because it's like the response they don't want to reach back. They don't want to build that relationship, or they're kind of better than me. They think they're better than me, so to speak. And I feel like that's a problem as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like not enough people reach back, especially in like in the black community. I feel like a lot of people aren't reaching back or like willing to, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, hey, I'm doing this. This how you could do this. You know what I'm saying? This how we could do this. You know what I'm saying? And we're not helping each other enough. You know what I'm saying? We kind of, but it's that kind of mentality like, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna go, you know what I'm saying? Like the crab in a barrel type of thing. You know what I mean? It's like that mentality. I don't know. That's what I think.
That's that talented scent.
Yeah, I want to put a caveat to it just to say I don't think that's just black people. I think because we black, that's how we think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but I think it's more so we're all like all black, white, and everybody is like a subset of what our current system is. And to be honest, like just how capitalism kind of works is transactional. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is.
You're right.
Hey, I'm gonna mess with you. If you got something to offer, I'll hear you out. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have anything to offer to me, then I'm looking at it as charity. And it's like that's not how life should work, at least in my mind. But that's just I just want to say that because a lot of times I used to fall victim to saying like, oh man, niggas in the hood, crabs in a barrel, like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Which could be true, but it's like that's not just it's not exclusive to black people in from where I'm from. You feel me? So, I just want to say that. But go ahead, Lee.
Lee, what you think? Yeah.
Huh?
I'll say what you think. I haven't heard
the
you talk.
talented tenth, and I agree with that. But
No, I said that in reference to like the reaching back thing and like how and I was really gonna say pretty much what Lenny said, like detaching from this idea of like fighting white capitalism. And I just watched the Fred Hampton movie, so like, it's like fresh in my mind. But like fighting white capitalism with black capitalism, like it got to create like a socialistic type society. Not speaking about like government, but just like how we look at life even before that. Because yeah, that's deeper. But no, I feel that, and I feel like surround the people that you surround yourself with is hella important. That's why like I'm hella appreciative for y'all, because like I feel like we still got that regardless. So I feel like I can reach out to y'all about hella different shit. And like with quarantine, I've been here wherever every day. So like hella ideas, hella type of just like creative, welcoming, assuring, like yeah, shit, try it, fuck it. Like it's been hella like that. So like this shit's been fun. Like it's been hella stressful, but it's been fun. Like a hella small circle. But I really like what Mo said in terms of building a community, not your network. I like that like terminology. I'm gonna start using that shit for real. Yeah.
one thing I got a question on that, Mo. Well, before I ask the question, I just want to second what Lee said about like having your girl here is um, like hella important. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like now you living, at least for all of us, we was long distance at a point in time. For anybody who don't know, so like living with your best friend for real, like it allows you for it. It kind of helps not having like the quarantine thing. You don't have access to like these different communities. It's like you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you got your best friend right there. So that's one thing I do want to say. That's a hella
And
important.
hold on, just building off that real quick, like relationships are so important to your personal growth and how you learn to love yourself. And like honestly, the biggest growth that I've had personally is through the relationship that I've had with my partner, with Marissa. And yeah, so I just want to second that a lot because that's so true, especially when you are both like, because you are both working towards building each other, also building yourself. And it's just like, man, it's crazy. It's it challenges the most for sure, but like coming out on top, on the other end is like you like a whole different, not a whole different person, but just like a lot more mature in the way you approach life for sure.
So I got a question. Wait, Lena, was you about to say something?
No, you can go ahead.
Because what Mo just said, because I have to like check myself on this, or like I don't know, whatever. But how you refer to Marissa as your partner, and I feel like that's like a type of I don't know, it's something that's been in conversation recently, and I was curious as to how y'all felt about that. And I said that I have to check myself on it because like I have been also referring to Evo as my partner for that, and it's like me saying that I had to check myself. I had to ask the question like, okay, why did it feel taboo? Then it was like about like this fear of like, oh, they're gonna think I'm wooty wooty woo. And it's like, well, like how that shit should be like above or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like normalizing the referring of your significant other as your partner. How do y'all feel about that?
As far as what, like instead of like saying something,
My
boyfriend, girlfriend.
So for me, I would say it's important, like in a general sense, if I'm talking to anybody who I don't know, I try to refer to Shy as my partner or my person in a sense. Just because for me, it's more of a comfortability level for everybody else. Like, let's say one of you were homosexual or something, I just said my girl, and the next thing you say my girl. Now it's like, damn, am I going to seem odd saying, you know what I'm saying? If I say, but it's like, I said my girl just because I already, I know all, you know what I mean? But that's like, yeah, for me, and I also think the weirdness around it, quote unquote, is a lot to do with just like toxic masculinity in general. I had weirdness around it initially where I was like, I ain't gotta say partner. I want people to know it's, you know what I'm saying, my girl, but it's like a lot have to do with that. And I had to check myself way back when with that as well. But yeah, no, I agree. So
I agree with what y'all saying too, because it's like I initially I was thinking like that, like I don't know, like will people think this, that, and the other, but then like the more I'm using, I'm just like, one, it don't really matter. That's the most important thing. And like just coming to terms of like thinking about your relationship more as a partnership, more than, and caring about that more than like what other people think about your relationship is like, it's so simple, but like a lot of people care a lot about what other people think about their relationship. And it's like that in itself is toxic within a relationship. So me maintaining within myself what partnership means to me. And I think another thing, like I like to use it because I think it's more representative and more mature to like describe my relationship as a partnership rather than just like boyfriend or girlfriend, which like of course we are, but it's just like, you know, people I think respect partnership more than, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend. And like I want to hold my relationship as like respectable as possible. So that's why I use it too.
That's just something that I've never even thought about, like partner, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like, you guys might have even said it and I didn't even hear it. Like I didn't really think twice about it because I don't know, when I think about the word partner though, like if I'm saying somebody's my partner, like initially before y'all speaking, I'm like, that's like a marriage thing, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like that's my partner. I feel like, okay, we're both married, you know what I'm saying? We just, you know what I'm saying? That's my partner. So that's kind of cool that y'all think about it like that.
it also adds a level of seriousness to it too.
It does. It does.
If I was dating somebody for 1 week, I may not say partner. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so I agree. Yeah.
Because you say partner, it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Like this my life partner for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
That's one thing that I do want to touch on when we were just saying, I just want to make not a caveat, but like just want to say that like when we were saying how like important our partners have been to our personal growth, I also just want to make it clear that like it's super important to me to know that like it's not their responsibility to aid us in our personal growth, and it's not our responsibility to aid them in a sense. Like I don't feel like that's a healthy thing to like put that on your partner, even though like it naturally, just because we weren't raised in perfect societies, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna treat our partners as our therapists sometimes, they're gonna treat us as their therapist sometimes, but like to normalize that and be like, yeah, like that helped us grow so much, so like use them to help you grow. Like I feel like that's just unfair baggage and unfair, like,
Yeah.
you know, pressure on each other, to be
And that
honest.
Yeah.
doesn't mean they can't support you either. That
Right.
doesn't mean they can't support you. That just means like you're responsible for like yourself, like you hold yourself accountable. And yeah, I hope that for sure.
I think it's hard, like, and this is like something I've actually been thinking about and talking about recently, like that whole growing aspect, like your partner's not responsible for, you know what I'm saying, your growth, you know what I'm saying, and everything. One thing I've been thinking about with that is like, okay, I have stuff I need to work on. I need to be able to trust. I'm working on trust. I have trust issues or whatever the thing may be. Like, how do you do that within the relationship without putting all that baggage on your partner? You know what I mean? Because that's a lot to hold. Like, say if you don't trust somebody, or you have things you're dealing with in the past or something like that, that's a lot to put on your partner in a relationship. Y'all are still in a relationship. So that's when like maybe you need to take a break, or maybe that's something hard to do within the relationship. That's been something that, like, you know what I'm saying, I've been thinking about, like, how do people deal with that? Because you can't just, yeah, I have trust issues, oh, yeah, I'm dealing with all this, and then like you said, I can't just be in a relationship with somebody, because then it's going to be straining on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving if I don't know myself and I'm not okay with myself, how can you be in a relationship with that person? That's a tough situation.
Well, but that's another thing where it's like partnership, and then y'all, I want to hear what Mo and Lee think about this as well. But in my opinion, if you are in a partnership and like you're in a committed relationship partnership with someone, I do think it's like, I know it's easy to be like, you know what I'm saying, I gotta focus on myself, boom, boom, boom. But it's like, I think if you really like love each other,
Yeah.
then like a lot of times you will grow faster within the relationship as long as you could communicate that, like, okay, I'm going through trust issues, boom, boom, boom. Could communicate that, like,
Yeah.
okay, y'all can reflect on, okay, this is the reason I'm acting this way, boom, 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 boom. Like, can work through it. I think sometimes at least given that, not jumping to like, okay, I gotta focus on myself, allowing yourself to maybe grow through, or allowing them to, if they want to, aid you in growing through it is important.
Communication. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing you said.
That's
Yeah.
number one, always.
Yeah, well, always, hell yeah, Lenny. But no, I think it's an important thing because everything that Lenny said was true, and I think like understanding that like they're not your therapist, like simple as like, all right, like what are the type of things should I be taking to a therapist, and like not letting impact my emotions, and then I am exploding like this, or I'm reacting like this, or I'm like ignoring like this, whatever it is. So like, I think it's hella important to like have something for your mental health. And like another caveat to the corporate shit is like, or at least at PNG, that shit is great. Like I get like free therapy sessions, all that. So like tapping into that resource. But I also feel like for the like the what was it? Working and focusing on yourself and like that transition. Now I think it's funny because like I feel like I went through like something of like a transition, like tapping into myself type thing. I feel like the most important part is like building off communication is transparency. Being as transparent as possible, like understanding like, all right, I can't. I'm realizing that you're not my therapist, so I can't expect you to fix everything. But like these are the things I'm going through, and
Mhm.
like this is what it is. It's like it's and being transparent with yourself too, because like if you can't change your mind, you can't change anything. So like if you can't be transparent, be like, nah, nigga, you got to like be less angry. Like you got some anger issues. Like they could calm down. If you can't say
Yeah.
that to yourself or like something similar, like there's no growth because there's nothing changing. You just like taking shit out the box and putting it back in the same way and be like, oh, shit ain't working. And it's just
And
Yeah.
stupid.
And two things I'm gonna just say from that. One, we all have like this unique experience of being with our partners in a long distance relationship. So we've had to hold ourselves accountable, and we've also had the opportunities to grow within ourselves while also, you know, being a faithful partner. So it's like, like we have a lot of experience, um, still maintaining our goals and the things that we want to achieve while also, you know, thinking about like, okay, at the end of the day, this is the person I want to push me to achieve those goals. And so the second thing I wanted to say was like, at least for me, is always an understanding with like me with Marissa and I, like, I want you to be the best person that you want to be, no matter what that is. So it's like, at the end of the day, if she wanted to go like pursue a PhD across like in like at Oxford or some shit like that, you know, like, and she had to go and do that for 6 months, whatever. It's like, cool, you know, you go do that. It's like a lot of people can't say that because it's like they might have like insecurities about the relationship, whatever. But it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, if you want that other person, like if you really love that person and you want them to be the best person that you know that they want to be, and like, of course, that comes with like, you know, you also have to know like, is that like, this is another kind of thing. Actually, it's something I want to ask y'all. Like, oh, at what point are you like, you know, this isn't a good person? Like, not isn't a good person, but like this, I know this isn't who you want to be. Like, I know this isn't the path that you want to go down. This isn't like consistent with like the goals that you set out for yourself, whatever.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Itself.
Like, how do you hold your partner accountable while also giving them the space to shift and, you know, pursue new things?
What do you mean by that? Repeat, say it again, the last part.
So like what I'm saying is just like, you want to hold your partner accountable, of course. Like, I'm not gonna want to like I want Marissa to be the best person who she wants to be, and I feel like I have a good idea of who she wants to be. What is my responsibility in being like, hey, like this isn't like what you're doing isn't like consistent with like who you say you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Faz. You got it.
What I was gonna say before I forget, going back to what you were saying at first, like everything you said, like about, okay, Marissa she's gonna get a PhD in Oxford and stuff like that. All that's very, it's easier said than done. Like, I feel like things like that, and I'm saying, yeah, of course you want to be a great partner, of course you want to support them, but I guess that's where the communication, you know what I'm saying, the trust in the relationship and stuff comes in. But I feel like a lot of that, even for like me and my experience, yeah, you know what I'm saying, of course I want you to go pursue this across the country, of course, because that's what you've always talked about, you want to do this, but it's going to be still hard for me, you know what I'm saying, a challenge for me, like mentally, you know what I'm saying, not even that I don't trust you, but it's like, I just want you to be here. You know what I mean? It's like, I just want to be around you. I want that connection. That's even deeper into when we're talking about love languages and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But going back to your question, I think one thing that I do is, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it depends on the type of person you are. And I feel like for you guys, especially too, like for all of us really, is like, we're leaders. You know what I mean? Like, even in football, if you think about football, like, you know what I'm saying, we're leaders in like how we talk to people and actions. And I feel like that's good in, you know what I'm saying, relationships. Like, I'm good at supporting my partner. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good at, you know what I'm saying, being there. Like, I'm kind of like a coach, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna push you to make sure I'm gonna get everything you told me you want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you do this. Are you gonna try to work out? You'll make sure you're gonna work out. So I think, I don't know exactly, but I just think being like, I think you'll know. You know what I mean? I don't think for your partner, especially, like, I don't think I would be able to be with someone, especially if, like, I think I actually, what I'm trying to say is, I think I would know, you know what I'm saying, if that person is not consistent, like with their goals and everything that they want to do with their life. I think that's something, you know, like earlier, like in the talking stage, or I think you know that before you start dating someone. I think those are the type of things that, you know, when I'm talking to somebody, I feel like at the stage we are now, especially like in my relationship, she is like a harder worker than I am. Not even, I'm not gonna say harder work, but like she works very hard. So I don't have to get on her a lot, but she also has to get on me about things, and I have to get on her about something. So it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what your question was. I low-key forgot, but it's just like, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
So the question was like the responsibility of holding your partner accountable for like what they say they want to be, right, Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so like I know for me, so it was actually a hard ass question. I've been thinking all the time, but like what I just, so Faze hit on it, and it's just the idea of like leadership. And like, so I know for us, like as soon as he said it's like, damn, so that's really what it's been throughout all of quarantine. Like if there were moments where like I was sluggish or like I wasn't locked in like I know I can be, and well, your camera's off. But
My
if I
bad.
know, yeah, like she was always like still waking up early. Like let's just use it as the example. It's like the mornings when like let's say we both commit to like waking up early, and that's the good thing. Or like a lot of times in partnerships, it's not like one partner is like, yeah, I want to get healthy and work out, and the other one's like, nah, fuck the health shit. So like a lot of times y'all are aligned. So like we're getting healthy together, we're working out together. So like just like continuing to like feel that and like so the mornings where she's not waking up early, like make sure you're up there and like you're handling like that side. So like, and I feel like that's what we've been doing, and just like continuing to be like, damn, like, all right, and from there it has kind of established something that I think continues to grow. Now then, when it's become problems in that, then I think it goes into what Faye said. Like these are things that like personalities that you notice before you get to certain places.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think it's building off of both of what you said. One point and what Faye said around like leadership, but both of y'all needing leadership and like knowing each other. And then also what Leek was just saying, like really leading by example, and like influencing each other in that way to keep each other on track. I would say it's like really broken down into two pieces for me. The first one is kind of like shout out the hotel school for this, but like it's a saying in hospitality where it's like you don't treat others the way they want to be treated. You treat them the way they want to, or the way you want to be treated. You treat them the way that they would want to be treated. You know what I mean? So like I'm not gonna treat Faze in this situation how I would want to be treated in this situation. I'm treating Faze how I want him to be treated, or he would want himself to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like just taking that lens in a sense, whether it's in anything. So it's like listening and different things. It takes you to really like know your partner, I feel like. So like for me to be able to ever tell Shy about anything, like if or to keep her hold her accountable for anything, I have to know her like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because Shy's not a person who's just finna be like, oh yeah, like just hear you out and be like, oh okay, like she's gonna be looking at you like, you know what I'm saying? Or she would look at me if I didn't know her to the core, you know what I'm saying? And know, okay, these are the responses that work. And part of that is time, you know what I mean? Like a weekend when we was dating, I wasn't able to tell her this about herself in the right way, you know what I'm saying? To where she would react the right way and things like that. So I think part of that is time and knowing each other, but it's also like really pay attention to who the person that you're dating is. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think about it as like, man, no, they think about it so objective that you said you want to do this, do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like maybe they're feeling this. Maybe they still have that on their mind. It ain't like their goals just went out their head. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in this specific circumstance, they feel in this specific way, and they need this. They don't need a nigga who's gonna tell them, "Hey, you remember you said this?" You know what I'm saying? Because I used to be like that kind of in that coach way, like Faze was saying, like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm on it," but it's like she could be going through some whole other shit. You know what I'm saying? That I don't even know about in the moment.
And I
So it's
think
like
that
that's
Yeah,
I think
important
that's
to like
big.
listen first.
That's big because it's like not even that they're going like this is I had to learn this. I had to learn this the hard way. It's like it's not even they said something and not they don't want to do it or that they don't feel no, it's not that they maybe they feel bad today, they're sick, or they just feel some type of way. Maybe they just don't feel like it. You know what I mean? And you
Exactly,
can't
and that's valid.
I
And
can't
that's
be like
valid.
I can't be like, no, you said you were gonna do this, but like it's big on knowing who your partner is or knowing who that person is. Cause now that I know, I'm like, I'm not gonna get all on you for not doing it. Cause I'm like, then that's just gonna cause friction and cause an argument. And it's not, I'm like, you don't want, okay, like this is your life.
And you know,
No,
and you know, basically, like what you was just saying, Face, right? You felt like she already works as hard as you or not. So you know, if she don't feel like doing it, don't mean she ain't gonna do it. She gonna eventually do it. Just in
exactly.
this moment, she may not feel like. So like, what way can I? What can I provide? So like in consulting, we talk a lot about like, are you adding value or not? In a sense, right? So it's the same way in your relationship. To me, it's like in each situation it varies, right? On whether whatever you're saying is adding value to their life or to the situation, or if it's not. So if you saying like, man, I gotta be on your ass, it's not adding any value. That's not motivating. It ain't doing shit but irritating somebody. Then it's no point in doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And I think to me, it's like this idea of knowing when to build. Like when, like to when is it the time to like, all right, hunker down. Like, all right, let's dig deeper into this. And when the times to be like, all right, maintain the situation or like be their partner. Like just
Yeah,
like simply in that moment, just be like, all right, like what they need in that moment. Because what I've realized is like a lot of times, like so like if a house is on fire, you know what I'm saying, and like you go to like, oh, my house on fire is burning down, you go try to build, everything you build is gonna be on fire. So it's like it's stupid to like keep building. Like you got to put the fire out, you got to put, like, you know what I'm saying, you got to clean everything
Yeah,
out, and then you can build.
that's
Because
a good
like
analogy. I like that.
again,
I was just
trying to build on fire, dumb
yeah,
as fuck.
that's a good ass.
Right,
Yeah, and I agree, Leak, with the fact of you saying like it's really what they understanding what you feel like they would need, or from what they've articulated to you what they need, and not necessarily what they want. Because like you was just saying, if there's the fire and they like, you know what I'm saying, the shit, everything burning down, but they really wanted you to go in there and grab a bag and shit, you can't do that either. You know what I mean?
right,
Like you can't run in a burn building and shit, or you can't go in there and build the archway that they've been asking you to build for 30, you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Shit like that. So like I agree. But at the end of the day, it takes time, and it's a continuous effort. And this kind of circles back to when we were talking about like how your partner is not like necessarily responsible for you and stuff like that. I also want to just put this to like you growing as yourself and your relationship growing is a continuous process. Like for as long as we all live type thing. It's not like, oh shit, we didn't groove. Yeah, we finally hit like maturity type shit. Like that's not how it should not a bond or nothing like that. It don't work like that. You feel me? So like you gotta like it's continuing by the time when we 60 and 70, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, our plan is to still be together through then through 80, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you're still building, you're still in reinventing yourself and shit like that. So
And I've been we're dropping a lot of nuggets right now for all the people watching. That's a lot of wisdom on this call right now. And we ain't gotta go like because it's getting late. I gotta 6 a.m.s tomorrow, so I can't be up too late. But
Right,
you know what I'm saying, we got the final thoughts we can go through. But one of the main things I wanted to touch on tonight, you know what I'm saying, one of our brothers, you know what I'm saying, we got Graphene, you know what I'm saying, on the call right now. So I need to hear something, what's going on, when is new music dropping, tell him a little about train of thought, you know what I'm saying, all that. I need to know all that.
yeah, no, I got you. So I just want to say first, just the fact of like, I appreciate y'all for supporting in a sense. Anybody who don't know, like after football, in a sense, I was trying to figure out kind of my path and or just really another outlet. Because at the end of the day, while I love the sport of football, it was an outlet for me. You know what I'm saying? When on the field, I didn't think about anything else. Like that was it from when I was little. So it's like when that was gone, I was left with my thoughts, and that's like a scary thing in a sense. Depending on the type of thoughts you had and the experience you had. So for me, that was a scary thing. But like I've always been a writer. I've always wrote. We always rapped and stuff. Like when I was high school, middle school, like that's always been. You know, hip hop is just that. It's as black as anything else. You know what I'm saying? As anything can get type shit. So for me, I just started recording in the summer when I was no longer playing ball, and it just really like that was the only thing that brought me anywhere close to what football brought for me. In a sense, first writing it down, but then also like dealing with that and being able to deliver and feel like, okay, I should share this with the world. You know what I mean? So yeah, and Graphene, that's my name partially because I couldn't go by my name, actual name for certain reasons. But then the other reason is like I just Googled what the hardest material or the strongest material in the world was. Really is what I did, pound for pound, because I always felt like that's who I was in football and everything. You feel me? So it's like, that's what came up, and I just went with that because I thought it sounded cool. But like this year, it's been a struggle to be honest to drop music just because I work a lot, like hella. So it's like I was telling them at the beginning, like I only really get to record on maybe a weekend, but then it's like I still have to do stuff with my partner and do other things. So like that's the tough thing. But like I started this year by dropping a series called A Thought and a Half, which was just like my thoughts in general. Different things that are on my mind. And that's like I'm working on a song for it right now. My plan is to actually drop like 2 or 3 more songs just to like finish it and then drop it like all together as like the EP. But like yeah, I mean, I'm always writing. It's just finding the time to record. I record like right here. You see what I'm saying? Like my mic right there. I record and do everything right here. So it's like,
And you're on Apple Music. You're on Spotify.
Yeah, Apple Music, Spotify,
YouTube.
everything, YouTube, SoundCloud, everything, really. So
And
you
YouTube got some
it was
gems.
crazy.
check it out. And I mean,
It was crazy to me, Lonnie, because it's like, okay, yeah, I was making music, and it was always something like me and you talked about, like we all talked about, okay, making music, but it was like Lonnie just did, he started doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that was always the thing. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we did that all the time. We're like, okay, we're gonna drop this. Are we all gonna write some? We was just doing it for fun. But Lonnie just did it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really realize it until, you know how they was doing that Spotify thing and they did the streams and stuff. Like, how many did you have, bro? It was like, what?
Not hella, but it was just something that was like, for me to not ever think I was gonna drop music. Like,
You know what I
let me
mean?
think.
Just
Spotify
looking.
was like 2000. And one thing with that is like, I had to really face the fact of like, and this comes to a lot of things. Like, I had to face the fact, part of it's toxic masculinity, part of it is just me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it was just my identity in general, but facing the fact that like I was scared. Like I was trying to make up a whole lot of excuses for the reason I wasn't gonna drop or the reason shit wasn't ready yet. Or boom, boom. But at the end of the day, it was the fact of like, if not scared as the word, but like the fear of other people, you know what I'm saying? Other people having the ability to judge you, or fear of it not being what you wanted it to be, type of thing. Where it's like, in my opinion, once I got through that, it makes everything like my life is just better, because it's like I don't make music for, like, of course I want everybody to hear my words and things like that, because I feel like my words can impact people. But like at the end of the day, I make music because of how it feels for me. And I'm not really worried of people can put 10 thumbs down and I'm gonna still go and make something. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because of the
huge.
so like
That's, you
that's it.
gotta jump. Like, you on a cliff. You just gotta jump. You just gotta go for it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta attack life. You know what I mean? And just do what you love. You know what I'm
That's
saying? That's crazy. And like, okay, so you on Apple Music, you on Spotify, you on all that, man. We gotta look them
some
up.
new music will be coming this in March. Is definitely some new music will be coming, and everything is building toward to my next project. Really, like I really got all of the songs written. It's just finding the time to record, really,
Yeah.
for my next project. But that's what really everything is building to. I'm gonna drop music in
You
the
got
meantime, just because I feel like I gotta get it out. But
In that
yeah,
you got
same,
anything for us? Like any type of, oh my bad, like titles? Like what's the next song title? I
wait,
wanna
wait,
yeah,
wait.
yeah,
Before you get to that, we're gonna let him get to that. We're gonna let him get to that. I want to say, based off like what he was just saying, just to keep the conversation part going, that's a huge reason why for myself too, because I've always had these ideas. I've always had BB4L. You know what I'm saying? I have sweatshirts. I've made, you know what I'm saying? I've always had this stuff, but it's like not even that. It was more so like I was kind of scared of what other people think. And like they'll think like, oh yeah, he's just a SoundCloud rapper. He's just, everybody's doing this now. Everybody's trying to, you know what I'm saying? Even the podcast, you know what I'm saying? We made this is episode 2. The first podcast was, you know what I'm saying?
last year.
Was it 2019?
Yeah, well, the thing is, we've been talking like if we would have recorded all our conversations ever, we would have been on episode 200 by
200 right
right.
now. You know what I'm saying? And I have the first one, and the first one's gonna drop before this right now. It's not me right now. It's the JT. It's on JT's computer. So, and he,
okay.
you know how like
The
it's.
business
I'm not
man.
getting through to him. Like he just has to put
Yeah,
a flash drive in there. I went on Amazon. I sent him a flash drive.
yeah,
He
you
just
know.
like he just hasn't done it. He hasn't sent it back to me. So I'm waiting on him.
Busy.
About to drop episode 1.
Y'all see the USB drives and shit.
Yes, bro.
Like in
I sent
2006.
him that, bro, because I'm like, he's like, I can't send the files. I'm like, you're not trying, bro. But it's like,
That's funny.
that's a whole different thing. But that was big. It's like, I just had to do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was caring about what other people think. Like, this is not going to really make it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to go. I made the Instagram. I made the YouTube. So I'm about to start posting stuff and just putting it out there because it's like, who cares? Like, this is what I like.
And, and that's the thing. It's
Who
like
the
a
fuck
lot of
cares?
times what I had to realize, and one thing that's kind of what I made the song Stereotype that I dropped, my most recent song I dropped actually, was kind of about that, like the fact of like worrying about like people being like, oh, this nigga doing this because he don't play ball no more. Like, oh, this is just a
Yeah,
football turn rapper. He just ready fit into every stereotype from the hood. It's just like, but
yeah,
then he's like breaking them by the same time by like, oh, graduating with this, boom, working here, boom, boom. So it's like that dichotomy in a sense. But it's like at the end of the day, it came to a realization in my head, and I don't know if this will help y'all or whoever listening, but like that at the end of the day, people, the way people work, we in like such a political realm that it's like people, you only gonna either get positive comments, whether they true or not, whether people really fucking with you or not. People gonna either say like, oh, that's fire, or if they don't like it, they not finna comment nothing negative. They just not gonna say nothing. So you either only gonna hear positive thing or hear nothing. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like really no lose lose. In my head, it was like, oh damn, like I don't know, it's all of the different things. But at the end of the day, it's really you critiquing yourself and not other people. You know what I mean? Because I
Right.
didn't heard way more positive stuff than I've told myself originally. You know what I mean? So
And stereotypes out now, right?
Yeah, stereotype out
They
now.
need,
Hey,
they need to all go get that. Let me hear the start it off, bro. I just need to hear it, bro. Just give
You
me the
want to put
first
us
few
to
rounds,
rap on stereotype? Well, you saying like the beginning of the verse?
beginning of it, because I think that's just that one hit me because I'm playing it in my car and I'm like, okay, okay. Then the first line is like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
He's going in. He's about to talk to you. I need to hear it. Come on,
So I'm
spit
gonna
it
just
for the
say
people.
like the beginning of it. So I made the song on a different beat first. I just want to say that, and then it was like pretty much I always show my girlfriend,
Mm-hmm,
and then my like little brother, and my big brother, and my mom. Pretty
mm-hmm.
much, or I send them at least the beat, if not the song. And they
Yeah,
was just like, beat. I feel like what you saying harder than beat, pretty much. So I had to go through find a whole new beat, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom. But it's like for most of my songs, like if you listen, you'll see it's like a sample in it type of thing. So that beginning part is J. Cole talking in the interview about being a stereotype, and like it's an interview that ain't even had no video, but like just an old interview type
yeah.
thing. And then from there go into being like football player to a rapper. I'm the stereotype, right? Then it's like, hold on, I almost forgot. Where'd it go? Uh, and sending signals through your stereos is scariest sight, right? They say the music all alone can lead to aerial heights,
Oh wow.
right? And then it's New Year, I'm in a bag that you can't carry on flights, which is just
In
like
a
true.
bag that you can't
You know?
carry on flights.
And that's just like true. Just my goal of this year, you know what I'm saying? And then everything else, it's a lot of bars that people are not gonna get unless I do the genius for it. But that's why I ain't even gonna like I'm my goal is to
The
make music for people
abstract
to listen and not to just hear it. You know what I'm saying? But if you just hear it, that's why it's like I had to find a middle ground of like, okay, catchy. But then at first I just wanted people to just listen. But I know that's not how people listen to
Yeah,
music nowadays. People not just listening to the bars, to be honest. So I gotta at least draw them in with the whatever melody or however my delivery is. Then people can listen and maybe understand it later on. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
that's just how it is. But to go off of what Leek was saying, just to address whatever's coming next, the song I'm working on right before this call is actually called We Could Fly, right? And this is a book by Virginia Hamilton. I think that's her last name. I don't want to mess it up. But talking about they could fly, talking about like there were once slaves who could fly, right? But then they shed their wings when they came over here, you know what I'm saying? But and pretty much like had to hide the fact that they could fly back when it was in Africa type thing. It's like kind of the concept. I found the sample or heard about like the book and the sample and everything after I made the song, but it's just about like kind of our fixation with flying away from different things, whether that's you know what I mean. I don't want to give away the song, but like just
Yeah,
our
yeah,
fixation with getting away. You know what I'm saying? Like that's at least if you from where I'm from, everything's about getting away. Every imagination is about getting away. You're not dreaming of being the owner of the corner store down the street. You see what I'm saying? You dreaming of getting as far away as possible. So like the fixation of that, and then touching on also some things that's just important to me, which are like, you know what I'm saying, Black lives and things like that. So
that's
yeah.
huge. We just got a little exclusive into, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know what I'm saying? It'll probably drop by
Look at
the
me.
time they hear this. By the
Yeah,
time they hear this, it'll probably
You
drop.
don't say.
Yeah, and then that one, and then I'm trying to drop one with that called Free Falling, which is kind of ode to Black women in a sense. Whoever doesn't know, today's the 28th of February. Next month is International Women's Month. And I wrote this way before, like I wrote this a while ago actually, but it's just the fact of like the first lines I kind of thought of like in the summer where I was like, I had a dream that like God was a Black woman, pretty much. And y'all remember we had that conversation, Leaking Mo. I don't remember if y'all remember, but like the fact of like a lot of the things, a lot of the traits we think of in God, we see those, at least personally, I see those mostly resembled in Black women in my life. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah,
kind of around that, but also just like the different things around we fight a lot for like Black lives in general,
mm-hmm.
or we fight for different battles, women's lives in general, you know what I'm saying? But like the most marginalized is our Black women, you know what I mean? And
100%.
within the Black community, there's a lot of like it's a lot of men who like hate women in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So it's touching on that. And it's a taught behavior, but it's like a lot of stuff that goes down to where it's like I don't feel like we protect Black women like we should, or you know what I'm saying, honor them in a way. So that's what that one about. Just tell me. But yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. We
These
got we
niggas
got
ain't
black
shit.
women, man. We only got enough
For
time.
real.
We're gonna start, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start. You know what I'm saying? This is just episode 2, but we'll have like, you know what I'm saying, special guests come on. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Um, on the different things, you know what I'm saying? We got to support the Black businesses, you know what I'm saying? Black
That's real.
fashion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black food, you know what I mean? Whoever started that, because I think that's what this platform should be used for, you know what I mean? Especially we got to talk about what we got to talk about, but like, you know what I'm saying? You're an artist. You're trying to come up. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to blow up. You're about to do your thing. But there's other people too that don't have a platform to, you know what I'm saying, do that. So we're just building that platform so people that are not known right now can get put on, you know what I mean? But first we gotta, you know what I'm saying, just talk our talk, you know what I'm saying, and try to inspire whoever we can. It could be 5 viewers, it could be 10,000 viewers, but who all those viewers, they gonna understand and they gonna see where we come from, you know what I mean? And just hopefully they take one thing from it, 2 things from it, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. But that's all we're trying to do.
Just before we close, I don't want it to be about me. So I just want anybody else. I ain't gonna put y'all on blast about nothing, about y'all talents or nothing. But is there anything that we should be looking out for from any of y'all? That's all I'm gonna say.
Me,
Anytime, not necessarily soon, but just in general.
I'm gonna let y'all go first, and then because I'll end it and then I'll close it off.
It's cool.
Wait, Lee, what was you drinking on? What was you drinking on over there before?
Oh, come on. It was Evo made me a nice little whiskey and Dr. Peppermint.
Wow, because I
no, wait. No, this is actually Diddy tequila
oh wow.
and Dr. Peppermint. But yeah.
I seen you sipping it slow, so I was like, oh yeah, he got something over there.
It was straight.
Okay.
No, but I don't to answer Lenny's question. So one thing that I wanted to say before we got off is at the beginning, Lenny had said that words are super important. So I want to make sure that I say, anybody who listening, tell y'all for sure that power of life and death is in the tongue. So like whatever you say, whatever you want, whatever it is that you want to do, speak that shit and like be about it 100%. Because like if you don't tell yourself it, if you can't tell yourself that you want to do it, like you got to start there and then everything else can start. And like building off of that, I'm just going to be more let's say critical about the words I choose and the words I choose to post and the words I choose to exhibit and give to the world. So that's what I'm gonna answer to Lenny.
That's what's up.
Nicely cracked.
Mo,
You said what?
go ahead.
Last word.
What do you have that people should look for? Like, what do you doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Like, what's going on in Mo Bradford's life? There's only one Mo, incredible, you know what I'm saying? The urban planner, you know what I'm saying? Tell me something.
Oh, okay. So what I'm trying to do, so I'm, like I already talked about, I'm a city planner, but what I'm most passionate about is community engagement and participatory planning. So, you know, a big conversation, especially in light of like COVID and, you know, a lot of resurgence of social justice movements. You know, we have this conversation about equity. What does equity mean? And in the development sector, you know, a big part of how we answer that question is how we talk to our communities and how we engage our communities. And so working from a private sector that is responsible for a lot of the community engagement that goes into, you know, city developments, you know, the way we develop affordable housing, the way we do any project, I'm responsible for that. And so in our sector, it's community engagement is not where it needs to be. It doesn't answer questions related to cultural preservation. It doesn't answer questions related to, you know, how do we get qualitative data from the people that we're helping? You know, how do we ask questions so that what we build is what actually helps people? Mm-hmm. And so knowing that's having having the right tools and answering the right questions is something that we lack as professionals in the development sector. You know, I want to spend time developing a community engagement toolkit. And that's something I'm going to be doing, like developing over the years. It's probably going to be something that I capstone as one of my things that I do in my life. I want to develop a toolkit that is well researched, that basically says, you know, these are the tools that you need to use to engage this community. If you have this amount of time, you need to use this tool. These are the questions that it'll answer, et cetera, et cetera. This is how you need to engage the community. These are the types of things that you need to be concerned about with this community.
and all these kind of things. So it's a whole big project, but that's something I'm gonna be working on. I want to pursue that research in grad school, and yeah, I want to bring it to the world when it's ready. That could be I can develop it through working for a city, and I want to bring it to like the development world, especially private sector, and hopefully kind of standardize the way we talk to the people who need to be listened to the most.
That's big. And I think just hearing Mo talk and hearing all of us talk, one thing people watching this podcast should know is like not just football, but football, like for me and all of us, you know what I'm saying? We know about football. People that are young in high school, going to college, trying to go to the NFL, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Reach out to us, talk to us. We're here. But even in life, you know what I'm saying? You see, we're all doing different things in our life, from job, work advice, career advice, college advice. This is what we're here for. This is what this platform is for. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put our Instagrams down here. If you're going to DM us, comment under the video, whatever it is, that's what this is for. You know what I'm saying? Any businesses, Black businesses, it doesn't have to be Black businesses, all businesses. If you're creating something, you know what I'm saying? This is what this platform is for. Just hit us up and you could be a part of this. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say. But right now, for me, based off the question Lonnie said, what are we doing? 4L. I got the Instagram. Go follow the Instagram. I'm going to post this on the Instagram. I'm going to post this on the YouTube. I'm going to post it on the Twitter. And I'm saying all that. I'm going to post this there so you can see more episodes. We're going to try to, you know what I'm saying? We're all busy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to do more of these. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to break this up. And we got an old one. We got an old one from, I think, was it 2019 or 2020? Was it 2020 yet? Was it 2020? We have another one in 2020 that's going to drop too. So, you know what I'm saying? This is episode 2 of the 4L podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is us. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
It's the realest. You gotta feel me for real.
Hey, make sure you guys go like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys like the video, please tap into when the next episodes are coming out. Trust me, you will not regret it. We got more juiciness coming. We got more conversations coming. We got more sports. We got more love. We got more everything. We got more 4L. So go like, comment, and share, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can know when the next videos are dropping. 4L family out. Yes, sir.
Soul, I'ma fight to change the story that is told about this yellow tape. Playing instrumentals when I'm riding through the countryside.